Yo, Toy Mafia. What is good? I go by Osiris. I am broadcasting on two channels right now for this one, Middle MAGA and After Show Carnage. Thank you for joining. To be young again. To be young and spry again. I go to the gym. For me to lift and do half of what I used to do, I didn't even realize how strong I was when I was 18 until I'm 47 now. So I go to the gym and I'm like, wait a second. When I was 18 through 26, I could have went 3 times as hard and felt 3 times as good afterwards. So the young people have an advantage. And I don't know how young Natalie Winters is. I'll have to look that up. But this is a young lady here. And I just saw this today. I'm just doing a random stream. So there's nothing planned out here at all. I just need more content to clip up, to be honest with you. So here we are. Natalie Winters posted a thirst trap. And it's interesting how, for me at least, I don't know about anybody else, after the Ashley St. Clair thing happened, whatever happened there, I don't want to get sidetracked. Basically having Elon's baby. I mean, what else is it? That's it. I'm looking at I don't know what to call these people. So if you have a better term, tell me. I'm just calling them what everyone else is. The right wing. I like War Room. I have nothing against Natalie Winters. I'm not trying to, say she's bad or anything, not to listen. I love the War Room. And that's the only way I know her, from the War Room. And so she posted today, 2 hours ago from right now it's February 19th, Mountain Time, 11:48 a.m. And she posted a thirst trap. And it looks like, I don't know, did she lose weight? It looks like she lost some weight to me. Unless sometimes women do these tricks and stuff. So you got to give her credit for the tricks if she's got the tricks. But the weights look smaller than normal. The assets, let's just say, now look bigger than even before. I don't know if it's the waist or what. But the big picture here is we've got a thirst trap. And women, we can't have this both ways. Okay? You can't be and this is for Natalie. You can't be, and this is nothing new, but now I haven't been motivated to talk about this since now the Ashley St. Clair stuff. Women in politics, you cannot have it both ways. You cannot be posting thirst traps and then also want to be taken seriously. Ain't gonna happen. Shouldn't happen. And my solution is just stay the hell out of politics. That's my solution, but obviously that's not gonna happen. So here we are, and I think we're in a new age now where I am going to be calling your thirst traps out for what they are and really bringing you down a notch for whatever that's worth. So she puts on her tight pink, is that a mini skirt or what is this? A dress, right? It's a dress. I know the difference between a skirt and a dress. So this tight, form-fitting dress with some heels on, and she's a part of a larger conversation that's happened where the left has kind of noticed, like, wait a second, what's going on with y'all over there? On the first day of the White House, correspondence stuff where the press came in, she's 23-year-old is what I'm seeing now by searching. This is the co-host of the Steve Bannon War Room. She's constantly sharing photos of herself in these different outfits. They're cute. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about them being ugly. This is about what's the purpose of them. The trending purpose of this would be, I don't know if she's married or with anybody or not, doesn't change my take. Because if you're married and posting this, then that's even another angle, is trending towards having Elon Musk's baby. That's the final boss of this. There's no other path from where this goes. Doesn't mean you get there. It could be an asymptote where you approach having Elon's baby, but you don't get there. And that's where that's what this is. I'm not saying that that's literally what she's trying to do. I'm just saying she's on that story arc. I guarantee you Elon saw the post. E, calm down, bro. Just E, don't just block it. Mute her. Just stay away. Stay away. You causing problems, man. You got babies all over the damn planet. Just stop. So this is I posted underneath her just a post of Elon Musk just taking a look, just taking note. I know, man. Just calm down, bro. I know it's difficult when you can have your choice of whatever. I mean, imagine you could buy any car you want. You could damn near try to get any person you want. I mean, he bought the White House. I mean, he could do what he's the man right now, literally. I understand, just focus on something else. Pop in a video game or something like that, man. And do something else. But the controversy that came up was many people noticed that Natalie Winters her skirts were a little short. They were pretty short, that she's wearing to the professional correspondence, press conference type stuff. I don't know all the ins and outs of what she's doing. And Pearl Davis is noticing, everybody's noticing. Pearl Davis replied and said, "I've never seen women fight for anything harder than the ability to be naked." And she, Pearl takes it to the extreme because she knows how to go viral on social media, but her point is well taken. By the way, to subscribe to Pearl Davis is $20. She's no joke. Pearl Davis don't play, man. She's like, if you want to subscribe to me, you can, but you're gonna hand over 20, damn near a Netflix subscription every month. So here she is. Y'all think this is appropriate attire? Yeah, the guys are smiling. I'm not saying the guys wouldn't be smiling. Toy Mafia, control yourself. We've talked about this. So the guys are smiling. I don't blame them. That's just what it is. Is this appropriate outfit for y'all? It's guys, I mean, girls. If your dress is like, it looks to me like 6 inches above the knee, that's too short for a professional setting. If you're doing anything outside of OnlyFans or, I don't know, soft corn, if you're not doing soft corn, that's too short. I'm trying to, in what setting, and she looks great. I mean, she's clearly lost weight. I thought it was manipulation. No, she lost some weight. I mean, she looks great. Don't get me wrong. Guys, I'm not guys. Guys are fine with it. Girls, women. There's like 3 women that watch the channel every once in a while, just in case one of you pop in. That's not appropriate for professional work. And I don't need to tell the ones that watch this channel, I don't need to tell them that. This is not good. And what's the avenue for this is just public shame. Natalie, you're too good for this. I don't care what you have to say on the War Room anymore. What I need you to do is put Steve Bannon on the screen. This is an odd dichotomy, but put Steve Bannon on the left side of the screen. And then if you want to attract viewers, your purpose could be to walk in with a pink dress that's like a few inches below your ass crack. And you can just dance or walk or do whatever you want to do, show off that you lost some weight. Great. And what I would need from you is to shut the hell up if this is how you're going to operate. This is just absolutely unacceptable. It should be unacceptable.
Am I doing the podium? I'm taking over? You're going to leave for 4 months and make me host the show? Hi, everyone. Yeah, please don't. I love hosting the show, but not that much. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and being here.
So this is what I would do if Natalie, and I like Natalie, but this is what she can do for me. Just go on mute if she's going to do this. I don't even understand. Why not just do a OnlyFans with you just walking around? There's YouTube videos. I've seen them with women. See, now I'm going to search this on my YouTube and then watch. Every time I open up YouTube, it's going to be some overweight woman in a tight dress. But what is this? This, I think, is a woman called Thick Thighs or something like that. And it's on YouTube. It's not like you know, inappropriate. Well, it might be inappropriate, but it's not like, damn, they're getting wild with these shorts. I don't even know if I can show some of these. Damn. But I didn't expect all that. I just searched YouTube for thick thighs, and it was a little wilder than I expected. I didn't know that YouTube got down like that. But maybe Natalie can do that. And literally the short is, gosh, man, I can't find. I've seen this thing pop up every once in a while. I forgot what her name is. She's like an overweight woman in a tight dress all the time. And all she does is walk. Yeah, okay, there's a bunch of them. Here's a different one. This isn't the one I was thinking. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but it's the same thing. Let me show you. This is what Natalie Winters can do for you. No, I don't want even music with it. So this is what Natalie Winters has boiled herself down to. That dress that she's wearing is not much different than the one Natalie Winters wore to whatever the hell that formal event was with the old guys ogling at her as she walked by. So you make your choice. You do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to. Because it's kind of getting out of hand. So I'm going back and looking through some of these. Lawrence Southern's done a lot more than I thought as well, too, of these. So I don't really go through her timeline. So, she posts this. It says waste, fraud, and abuse. What? That's a risque post. That's a little risky, okay? Risque. So you go through and she has legitimate takes, and I mean she's well within the populist scene.
Decide his name.
I think this is her on this one, right? I thought she was on there with Alex Jones, but I'll go through her media here real quick, and then I'm gonna just look for some reactions. So there's her posting. You don't have to go far to find them, and there you are. So the left has a point. It came out from. I'm looking at. Why am I always getting Times of India? Is it because Jeets run these platforms? Why do I get Times of India whenever I'm Googling stuff? Damn it, everything's Times of India. But people were just saying, hey, could you at least dress more modestly? These are people commenting on her post. This isn't high school. I mean, you probably get sent home from high school to wearing that. I mean, you couldn't wear that in my high school. You would have got sent home because you cause a problem. I mean, you got guys, 16-year-old boys having to they can't even pay attention during class. Is really what it's about. Not to say you have to actually control yourself no matter what. Don't get me wrong, but there you have it, Natalie Winters. Everybody, Toy Mafia says, Toy Mafia, don't encourage her, man. That's why, and I can't blame you. And Toy Mafia knows I have to keep it real. I'm not gonna blame you, but I'm just gonna say, man, don't encourage this behavior. Come on, guys. Can we not handle this appropriately? He said for her, it's more than he said for her, maybe from her standpoint, from the standpoint of maybe me respecting her, it's inappropriate for her. And then 2001's Dirty Secret, My Awakening says, for me, it's more than appropriate. I'm good with it. It's the law of nature. What am I going to do? David Cisak says she's young and that's how they dress. What about Fetterman and his professional? I've crashed out on Fetterman many times. It's been a while. But I have crashed out on Fetterman. Maybe we should do I haven't done a real update on Fetterman in a minute. It's more I don't even talk about his dress anymore because it's just they do these crazy things. If you don't know, Fetterman literally wears like a hoodie and shorts. I mean, he looks like a bum. He looks straight up like an ex-NBA player who gained weight and just is living off the streets. That's what he looks like. He's more stupid. He's still using devices to communicate. He's the first transhumanist person that we know of, like directly like that in Congress, in DC. So I've crashed out on him, and he's just an embarrassment. But the story isn't even him anymore to me. The story is MAGA. All Fetterman had to do was wave the blue and white flag, and MAGA loves him. Scott Presser was trying to recruit him. So that's more than his attire is like the way, and MAGA supports this. Bryson Gray had a interesting comment, I thought, in the same vein here. Let me look up Bryson Gray's account, and he was like, doesn't she deserve a congratulations? And he wasn't talking about Natalie Winters. He was talking about Lily Phillips. Now, here's another story we can cover. Lily Phillips. Lily Phillips, and I guess this is official. Is she pregnant? I'm looking that up right now just to make sure I have it right. This is via Daily Mail on their drama section. I have my own drama section too. I just don't have time to post it. Lily Phillips, a 24-year-old. Is that Lily Phillips? Dang, she looks older than that. Lily Phillips, a 24-year-old OnlyFans creator from the UK, recently announced her alleged pregnancy on social media. Anybody know where Elon Musk is? Where was he? If she supported Trump, that would be a potential. Do you have an announcement, Lily? Lily announces her pregnancy hours after former friend Bonnie Blue teases having cravings. I don't even know what that means. I'm so old. I have no idea what that means. Cravings for what? I'm scared to ask. I actually don't want to know. Today, Phillips shared 2 separate pregnancy announcements on her Instagram page. Honestly, Natalie, you just you didn't do the leg spread that we're aware of, but you're more on that arc than who's a woman in politics like a Candace Owens. Candace Owens is somebody who's carried herself with respect, dressed with respect, and demands and commands respect. And Natalie Winters is going down the route of, I don't care what you have to say. There is no way you're going to command respect from me other than, if you get married, perform your duties that way. But in politics at this point, I don't want to hear anything else from you. I'd want to hear from Lily Phillips at this point as much as I do Natalie Winters. If she says something good, then I'll agree, don't get me wrong, but I'm not checking for what she's going to say. Like when Candace Owens drops a new video, it's like, the new Star Wars came out. So she posted a short clip showing her cradle with a visible baby bump. The photo of 2 pregnancy tests, one appearing positive and the other inconclusive. She captioned the post with, "The secret is out, baby Phillips 2025, and stated it's official in the video. Bryson Gray replied and said, "Doesn't she deserve a congratulations from conservatives?" Obviously, he's talking about what are we doing now? However you define conservative, you clapped when Ashley Sinclair basically acted like your normal hood rat. Open legs, not married, have a baby, I want some money like a gold digger. And that was celebrated in a way. Life is always good. Don't get me wrong. Is always a gift to the world. That's not what people were criticizing, or that's not what Bryson is criticizing. Bryson's criticizing, well, we talk about the homeless, not homeless, but the fatherless homes all the time, and now we're clapping Ashley Sinclair. Most recent news is Elon Musk not even following her on X. He dropped following her on X. Yeah, along with all the other things, that's kind of an important thing to note. Along with her begging for his attention and him not responding and her deleting the tweet. Yeah, and her saying that she has his baby. If you're going to put her up in a $40,000 a month place, allegedly, might as well just cut the check. I mean, what's going on? Why not embrace it? Because now it makes E look bad. This doesn't look like an IVS baby with the St. Clair stuff. So that's what conservatives were celebrating. So Bryson Gray's like, okay, isn't it what we do now? Congratulations. You opened your leg for, I don't know, 1 million niggas and you got a baby. Yay. MAGA. They're not going to do it. But watch this arc. Watch this here. Well, she's in the UK. But watch her go. All she has to do is like Nancy Mace. Oh, men shouldn't be in a woman's bathroom. And then MAGA's going to be like, yeah. And she's going to be on every podcast and he'll be like, yeah, Lily Phillips, the new conservative, the new face of MAGA. So cringe, man. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Y'all wildin', man. I understand that it's scary that where the country was heading before Trump, and Trump's doing a lot of good things. I did the react to the video with Elon Musk and Trump, the interview with Sean Hannity. They were outstanding. It couldn't have gone any better. I was shocked at how good it was. I did not expect it to be that good. I'm glad I watched it. So I get it, but there's got to be a line to draw. There's got to be a place to stop. There's got to be a place when we're like, well, that doesn't fit with where I'm at. You can vote for Trump or whatever, but that's not where. Just so we're clear, Natalie Winters, if you're going to wear dresses where if you accidentally trip down, your ass crack would be showing, that's not going to be what we want. I'm going to start calling you Natalie Lily Phillips if you don't change that up. And it will continue as you continue to post thirst traps, because I've been watching these thirst traps. That's always been in the back of my mind, like what's really going on. The women I respect, I'm not going to name them because I don't want them wrapped up in this conversation, but the women I respect in this space, well, I'll say Jen Perlman because she's not in the right. Somebody like, you don't see Jen Perlman caking on 12 pounds of makeup and putting on a dress that's an inch above her ass crack. The women I respect don't do that. And that's going to have to be a new kind of requirement. We're not going to keep doing this, women. Lauren Southern, she doesn't do too much of it, but she has done a little bit of it. I don't care who it is. Name who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't want to see it. Nala released a video after she found Jesus or whatever, and she's licking icing off of whatever thing she didn't know how to bake in a TikTok. And Mary Morgan's like, is this what we're doing now? Yeah, it is. She just went from OF to soft corn, basically. These days are over, ladies, on the supposed conservative right. This is Natalie. You're not reading the room. After the, I don't know why I have her midsection circle. I always leave it on the most awkward spots. But we're not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. That's for sure. This is going to be the first, and it will just keep escalating the retort, the comments about, basically trending towards host status. Don't do this anymore. Brett Cooper, she does a little bit. She doesn't do anything inappropriate, so I don't really have a problem. I haven't seen anything from Brett Cooper, so I have respect for Brett Cooper. I think Natalie Winters she's just changing her brand. At work, anybody talk to you about what's your brand? Like what your brand is basically, how would you explain it? Maybe the first thing, like if somebody says your name, what's the first thing they think of? So right now, what's the first thing you think of, gentlemen? Gentlemen, be honest. When you hear, what's the difference between if I say Natalie Winters and Lily Phillips right now for you? The only difference is Lily Phillips, we know, went for the extreme of the leg opening, and Natalie Winters is basically going up into that. You're a young lady. You're very smart. You're very influential. Do better. Natalie Lily Phillips. Angel Barber says, I think this is fake. Lily Phillips was on whatever show 2 weeks ago promoting she was going for the world record this year of having relations and entanglements with 1,500 niggas. I'm sorry. That's not what Angel said. Angel's like, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I'm ad-libbing, and that shouldn't be good. Let me bring it back. No ad-libs no ad-libs. Angel Barber says, I think this is fake. Lily Phillips was on whatever show 2 weeks ago promoting she was going for the world record this year of having entanglements with 1,500 men in a year. And she did have a baby bump. Oh, okay. I thought you said it was fake, though. He said, I don't believe this is real. And she didn't appear to have a baby bump. I got you. And Andrew was tearing into her. Yeah. I haven't done a reaction to that. She didn't have a baby bump. Yeah, I got you. I didn't see that. I mean, I don't have any plan for the show right now. I mean, I can look that up. See if I can find it real quick on the whatever podcast Lily. Let's see if we can find that. This was 7 days ago. Damn, 7 hours.
About 3.
All right, got it.
Made a lot of horrible allegations too that weren't true.
I don't know. I don't know
Is that Lily Phillips on there? I don't see. Oh, yeah, that's her right there, right?
is this something you want to get into, or
I mean, if that's what you want to spend.
I would like to get into it because you said some pretty mean things about me, and I didn't. What did I ever do to you? I didn't kick your puppy or anything.
Well, no, but I think you would probably agree, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you decide to be on the internet and make content, then you're going to be subject to other people having an opinion on it, no?
Yeah, the great thing is, though, is that when I make commentary on what other people say, I don't lie and do my research. You lied multiple times.
What did I lie about?
About me.
Yeah,
well, you made
This is so beneath. Andrew Wilson is like the top debate bro for me right now. This is so beneath him. I have no problem with what he's doing. Like some people say, well, you're propping up the OF girls or whatever. No, that's not my problem here. My problem here is just, it's like, it's almost like Jordan trying to, in his prime dunking on me or something. Like, what's, okay.
Serious allegation. You said that I had a belief that if men cheat and women cheat, that it's okay for men to cheat and not okay for women to cheat. Or, I'm sorry, vice versa. It's okay for men to cheat, not okay for women, right?
I don't know if it was...
Not only have I literally never said that once, the opposite, in fact, emphatically, you also pulled me in with red pillars, of which I'm not. I'm a Christian ethicist.
Yep, so people who don't know what's going on probably see Tate. Tate says that kind of stuff, and I don't know how much he really believes it or not, but the marketing... Andrew Wilson is not that.
Right? You lied over and over and over because you didn't do any research whatsoever. And I would like you to answer as to why you think it's okay to lie about people on the internet who have never done anything to you.
Well, I certainly didn't lie, and you'd have to pull up the exact tweet where I'm naming you specifically.
I don't need the tweet. I have the clip. I sent it to Brian.
I know, but it has to be addressing who I'm talking about because you've had multiple male hosts.
You say my name, Andrew. You say my name, Andrew, and then go through and accuse me of these things.
Do I say Andrew?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, we can pull it, and then maybe I'm not sure.
I mean, I need to pre-. Andrew, you sent it to me 20 minutes before the show. I didn't have time to review it. I have to pre-screen it before I show it live. Were you talking about Andrew Tate?
No, it could have been Andrew. No, it could absolutely have been Andrew Tate, and then there have been. Well, hold on, because you're asking a question. I'm not being allowed to ask it.
I'm referencing whatever, unless Andrew Tate is.
No, it could have been whatever.
Damn, he runs a pretty tight ship. I mean, Andrew Wilson's on there like every day, isn't he? You can't go by trust him on the clip. Oh.
But I didn't know your name until I was coming on the show, to be honest. So if I said Andrew, it could have been me misspeaking because there have been other men that were hosting on here. And then it was a clip that I don't even know how old it was. I think it was a different studio as well. It was referring to one of the male, either hosts or guests, and I'm not sure what his role was.
That was me.
Okay, so then why would I say it about you if you didn't say it? There was a clip on this podcast with...
That's what's in question. I don't know why you would attribute...
Well, then I would have to find the clip in question, so that's not...
You don't have to, because I sent it.
No, I'm saying I would have to... Oh my goodness, this isn't a conversation. I'm saying I would have to find the clip that I was commentating on, because it is possible that maybe I said the wrong name. And if that's true, I would apologize. My intention is not to lie, but there was absolutely a clip that I saw on this podcast, and I don't know if it was a host or a guest, and the argument was that if and I don't think it was you, I think it was a younger host, and maybe he wasn't a host, maybe he was a guest, but he was saying that if a man was abusing his wife, that it was the wife's duty to seek counseling within the church and not divorce, but if the woman cheated, that would be grounds for divorce. That was the clip that was circulating. Is it possible that it got edited and what I watched was not true? And that's what I'm saying. If I was prepared, I could come with the clip that I was commentating on. And if the clip was inaccurate or if I missaid the name, I will apologize without any embarrassment whatsoever, because I don't want to misspeak or lie. That's not my intention. But I can't do that because I don't have the clip. I don't even have a phone.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't debunk this if we can't play it. But what I am going to say is this: it definitely was an attribution and a mischaracterization of anything I've ever said, and total nonsense. So yeah, I did want to get into it, but if we can't get into it, can't get into it.
Yeah, and again, I don't think I was saying it about you because I don't know the guy's name. He's clean cut, younger dude.
It could have just been me without a beard.
No, I'm sure it wasn't you because the guy he looked like he was in his 20s.
Okay. And his name was Andrew.
I don't know that I don't have the clip, so I can't say it. And if I said Andrew, it could have been me just using the wrong name because I literally had my producer send me little bios of you guys before I came.
Well, those guys who host that show right? They like nothing better than to be in a room so that they can abuse women, and you'll never see them debating with men.
Well, and you would say that there have been good conversations on the internet with you that are treating women with respect. Like that's what this podcast is known for, is really reasonable conversations where everyone is mutually talking to each other with respect.
Yeah, that has not. Let's assume for a second everybody's always fighting on here, yelling at each other, screaming at each other. So what? That has nothing to do with your claim that men on here would much rather be sitting across from women and debating with women because they're side.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, their clips are good, but I definitely wouldn't be sitting down and watching too much of them. Let me see. I had some stuff that I wanted. Let me just go to my timeline real quick. See if there's anything that sparks up. I always want to go to Destiny, see what he's talking about. What is this? Another one? What the hell is going on? Oh, that's Pearl. Oh, we have a development. Breaking news. Natalie Winters goes to war with Pearl Davis over looks, it looks like. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about it. We're right in the middle of drama. 19 minutes ago, breaking news. Right off of the first topic that we talked about, Natalie Winters walking around in her tight little dress and still wants respect for me. That's not going to happen. But Pearl Davis weighed in, and let's see where this is going. So let's go back and reset this. Pearl Davis, in response to the risque, very, very risque post, especially in the aftermath of the Ashley St. Clair stuff. In the aftermath of that, this is where you're going. More waste, fraud, and abuse. What does that even mean? I mean, is that meant to take you to an unsavory place? I don't even understand what that means. I mean, it's a good troll post. I mean, then you have the simps in the comments. Well, this is under Pearl, so you're not going to see the simps there. But so Pearl says, I've never seen women fight for anything harder than the ability to be naked. I mean, that's why you wear a short dress and make it tight in a way. It's to show you what I'm working with without you having to see the whole thing. She probably would have been better off in leggings and a tight top than that. Same thing. I think they call this a dress, is what Natalie Winters says. So she's going to try to defend her honor and quote tweet Pearl Davis so her simps can defend. And let's see if they're simping in the comments. Mini dress. It's a mini dress. Yeah. Mini length. I mean, it's shorter than that. Mini length. Let's see. To be fair, Tom's not simping. Wow. It looks more like body paint. Yeah, I agree with that. See nothing wrong or sexual. Oh, stop. Simp. If you read the other posts from Pearl, they're 100% leftist. What does that have to do with this? So ask her if she's ever set out nudes. You know, she's trending in that path, though. She might as well. I'd respect her more if she was. Most people call it skanky. Yeah, it's skanky-ish. Is that a fair assessment? If there's a older woman trying to defend her, Natalie is a modern. Is that what we call dressing like a street worker now? Modern at a professional event. It's don't worry, guys. It's modern. It's a modern, qualified, legally blonde bombshell who will put debate. It will put, I don't know what that means, like win debate against anyone who challenges her. No, I don't need to see her debating anything. If she were to try to debate, I would say, first, I need you to put some clothes on. First, I need you to look respectable. I do the same thing with Tate. Tate, always is posting with his shirt off. Hey, the guy works out, works hard. I got you. But on one of his posts, I was like, do you own a shirt or not? What's going on? Same thing with him. But for women, it's really a different. I am treating it different for women. Because they shouldn't even be in politics, in my opinion, to start with. Politics is war. War is for men. So then this is the whole Pearl versus not Pearl thing. And then they always post Pearl looking not good. What does that change? That doesn't change Natalie Winters dressing the way she is. So you can talk about Pearl, and that's not a good picture of Pearl. It's a very unflattering picture, let's just say, to be nice. Hey, everybody struggles with the weight, not weight. What does that have to do with Natalie Winters? So Natalie says they call this a dress. And then Pearl says, I do not care what you do, but you will not gaslight me into thinking that pose and outfit is appropriate. Laugh out loud. Women in media are so good at using their sexuality to get ahead, demanding I not notice and also demand to be taken seriously. I didn't even see her post, and you see why I like Pearl. We're in the same lane here. That's what she's really talking about. If you were just an OF girl, nobody, I wouldn't even be talking about. Okay, you're an OF girl. Do your thing. But now you're trying to be taken seriously on kind of the right spectrum. No, that's not going to work for me. So it looks like they got a back and forth going now. And then, so she quote tweets Pearl's reply because she needs her simps underneath it. Natalie Winters says, okay, and posts, well, that's not as, she has way more unflattering pictures than that. I mean, she doesn't even really look that bad in that. And what I would say, Natalie, is to me, I mean, it's just because I'm older now, probably. I mean, when I'm younger, like the guys in the chat are like, Natalie Winters for the win. But when you get older, at least I can only speak for myself, Pearl Davis is more attractive to me than Natalie Winters from the whole package, not from just the looks. If you want to go for the looks, I guess you would go with Natalie Winters. But when you look at the whole package for what they believe, their philosophy, the way they have courage or not have courage, the way they act, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, so it depends on, I think she was posting this now to show, oh, you're wearing a dress. Well, I have to see where that is. It's not as form-fitting. Yeah, it's a mini dress because it's higher up above the knees, but it doesn't look like, and I don't know what that setting is either. The setting is what matters too. You're wearing these kind of things, you're wearing these little skirts to like the press conferences with Trump. You don't understand the difference there? So I don't know where that is, but it doesn't look like some type of press conference with Trump. But you do see some people in the background dressed kind of haphazard. So it looks, I don't know where she is there. Looks like a RNC type. I don't know what that is. But so there, we got that going. Oh, wow. There's a lot going on X. That's a different topic I won't get into right now. But okay. Damn, actually, I will cover it for a second. This is Tim Pool. Breaking news again, 47 minutes ago. Breaking news. Okay, so there was a breaking news alert yesterday about this account on X called Raw Alerts. And there was just reporting some unsavory things that they might have been involved with. I'm not even going to say because I don't even want to sound like I'm alleging. But now they're saying the past few days have been an unrelenting nightmare. We're taking a hard right turn here, marked by an overwhelming barrage of stress, frustration, and exhaustion that has taken a significant toll on my part. A severe and unjust breach of my personal life has occurred, and private information never intended for public exposure is now being recklessly weaponized on X and Twitter. Let me make this absolutely clear. Malicious, defamatory, and entirely false accusations have been made about me, my character, and my sexuality. I founded Raw Alerts in 2020 as an independent journalist covering the pandemic and the BLM protests at a time when people needed real, unfiltered news. What started as a small effort quickly grew into a major platform due to my commitment to accuracy, integrity, and transparency. My reporting filled a gap in mainstream media, providing breaking news coverage that millions have come to rely on. Through tireless dedication, Raw Alerts has become one of the most influential independent news sources on social media today. This is all true. I've worked day and night, sacrificing personal time and privacy to ensure that people have access to timely and reliable information. This is not just a news page, it is a community of people who seek truth over sensationalism, and I take immense pride in the platform I've built. Let me be absolutely clear. False and malicious accusations have been made about me and my sexuality, and these defamatory rumors are being deliberately spread. These attacks are not only deeply disturbing, but also a blatant attempt to damage my character and reputation. Yes, I am a proud gay man and a proud Republican. My sexuality is not a secret, nor is it something I have ever been ashamed of. Being gay is an integral part of who I am, and I've always carried myself with dignity, honesty, and self-respect. I refuse to let anybody twist my identity into something it is not or use it as a weapon against me. I have been in a committed marriage for many years with my partner who works in the legal field. We have built a life together based on love, integrity, and trust. Throughout my life, I've upheld the highest standards of respect for myself and others. Like anyone else, I am entitled to a private life, and I do not owe anyone an explanation for it. The images circulating on social media are deeply dispersonal and private, never intended for public use and exploitation. Their unauthorized distribution is not only an invasion of my privacy, but a desperate and malicious attempt to discredit me. I will not stand idly by while grotesque lies are weaponized against me. This is a calculated effort to undermine my character, and I will take all necessary actions to defend myself against these falsehoods. No one gets to define who I am except me. I'm a proud gay man, and I will not be ashamed, silenced, or intimidated. Despite my unwavering work ethic and the trust I have earned from my audience, the claims being made against me are not just misleading. They are outright fabrications, deliberately designed to destroy my reputation and credibility. I want to be absolutely explicit. I have never engaged in anything illegal, immoral, or harmful. I have zero involvement in any of the vile and disgusting activities that have been falsely attributed to me. These allegations are beyond absurd and represent a dangerous attempt to defame my name through deceit and manipulation. Furthermore, let me state this as clearly as possible. I have no interest in minors. Wow, so he did address that directly. Period. Anyone suggesting otherwise is engaging in blatant act of defamation. And I will pursue every legal recourse available against those responsible. Those responsible for this defamation will be held fully accountable. I have already initiated legal action, and I will not rest until justice is served. The reckless spread of false allegations is a serious offense, and the individuals behind the smear campaign should be prepared to face the consequences of their actions. Legal action is underway. Let me be clear. This defamation will not go unanswered. This is sounds like it was done with AI. I use AI a lot, and I've had to tell it to stop using these type of phrases because it's so annoying. I have already taken legal action and will pursue every available avenue to ensure that those responsible for spreading false and harmful allegations will be held accountable. And the AI repeats itself a lot. If you go back and look at my first early AI usage, you'll see these things. You have to really train it and tell it stop doing that, and then you can clean it up. Defamation is a crime, and the individuals behind the campaign will face the consequences. You see, it's repeating. I refuse to allow unfounded rumors, outright lies, and calculated attacks to define me. I've built this platform with integrity. You see, it's repeating again, and I will fight relentlessly to protect my name, my reputation, and the community that supports my work. That is Raw Alerts responding to the serious allegations. And what caught my eye was Tim Pool said, you can no longer send messages to this person. Tim Pool publicly said, it looks like Tim might be worried about liability here. Earlier today, I received a DM from this account, Raw Alerts, which kind of has been framed on the right side, I guess. I don't know. Mostly leftists, I don't think even care about this. So Tim said, I received a DM from this account threatening to unalive themselves. I do not know this person. I am only vaguely familiar with the account and only follow the account for updates. That sounds like a legal statement from Tim. I don't blame him. Just letting you know this is the breaking news. I immediately reported the threat of self-harm to X, however, was unsure if it was just someone hacking the account. Considering the story that is now surfacing with minors, whatever is happening there, on this platform, I decided to post this in case it is a serious threat, and I'm asking anyone who knows this individual to immediately seek assistance to prevent a potential tragedy. Very smart post by Tim there. Man, shit is going down, man. I don't even have any other comment other than that. See what he's saying in the comments here? I'll go to find like a Destiny or somebody in a second. Let's see. Andrew gets Candace, Lily, and the lady on the bottom right to rage quit the show and leave. Wow. I'll look for the clips. Ollie004 says, I hear you, a great friend of the show, says, I hear you on all of this, but I am curious if you'd say the same about Laura Loomer in this context. Yeah, it applies to anybody, but she doesn't dress inappropriately, though, does she? I haven't seen that. Yeah, she'll take like little pictures of herself and stuff, but nothing I mean, I guess sometimes she'll take a picture of herself on the beach or something like that, I guess. But for me, it does not cross nearly to the point where you're wearing that little dress thing to like some type of, I don't know if it was a war. I don't know what this thing was. Because she was involved, I don't care actually. So there's no right or wrong. I'm just going by feeling here. I have to work through and define like what that line is because I like that clear definitions. But I have not seen anything where Laura Loomer has crossed that line or even got close to it to me. And it can be perception too. If you look at someone who is more attractive than others, then it can come across. They could remember that one by, I forget the name of the influencer. I don't think she did anything wrong. She had on the tight top and she was, I don't know, doing her baking thing or whatever she was doing. And the assets were there. What's her name? DeLuca or something like that? What's her name? Somebody in the chat. Isabel Maria DeLuca. Is that her? Let me see if I can find this real quick. You already know what I'm talking about. So I actually don't think she did anything wrong here. Here it is. So it's not the video, but that's the clip. And then she's moving around doing the baking. So obviously the assets look humongous. So they're just like, I think they're just like this. And the guys are just like, wait, you got any more baking tips? She's like, the guys are like, don't you have more baking to do? I actually don't think there's what do you want her to do? She's got I don't, so I have to articulate it. Maybe it's not fair. But she's not at a conference. She's not at if she wore that to a press briefing or whatever they do go to, then yeah, I would have a problem with it. But if she's just baking, so it's different. And I did diss Nala because she was licking the icing. I think that's a step further than, because I didn't knock Nala for what she was wearing. I knocked Nala for her actions she didn't do any stupid stuff like licking icing off of the spatula or whatever to, obviously insinuate stuff. So hopefully I'm being fair. I always want to be fair. Guys, so the guys are just like, I don't care. What are you saying? The guys are like, I'm muting you and watching Natalie. So hopefully you understand. I'm muting Natalie and I'm going, no pun. I was going to say I'm going in. No, not that. I'm going to ridicule her and shame walk her gently until she stops doing that. She doesn't have to stop, and then it's going to escalate. And the guys watching the channel are saying, I'm muting you and I'm watching Natalie. So there we go. It's all fair. Ali 004 says, it's always what I've found off-putting about Laura and Natalie. So maybe Laura has some. If she does, I haven't seen it. Laura's work has really been the focal point of what I've seen of her. I've not seen all that other stuff, but I believe what you're saying, Ali. I have to look at it. I know she posts pictures, but most of the time she's not even in the pictures. The other time she's just wearing normal stuff. I mean, she has done some salacious stuff, I guess, in the past, I guess. I haven't seen anything recently. So if Natalie changes, then I really don't care. I'll reevaluate. There's no woman that I follow in politics that acts like that. None, not a one. Mel Village, crazy lady doesn't do that. Cassandra McDonald doesn't do that. Mary Morgan doesn't do that. Candace Owens doesn't do that. Name them. Who do you respect in this space? They don't do nothing like that. They don't support that. They don't encourage it. They don't say it's okay. They might not comment on it because you don't have to comment on everything, but that's my take on that. That raw alerts thing was crazy though. Good move by Tim there. Tim's smart. Let me take a look and see what I have. Let's look at my subscriptions or homepage. See what we're working with here. We got Rip-A-Verse, Rip in the Silverback. I haven't looked at Rip in a minute.
Texas wasn't the first to split.
Show didn't start yet. Let me play some music and make sure nobody's trying to contact me. I'll be right back. Let me see who this is. It's like they're bringing smooth jazz back. Tupperwave. This is an older, it looks like an older Tupperwave album. I respect that. Anybody used to listen, see, smooth jazz was kind of like who? Like Kenny, what's his name? Kenny G was smooth jazz. I kind of like to see, oh, look at this. Anomaly's going live. Let's do a live react to Anomaly.
What you want. I don't know what you think about him. But we teamed up with the communists. Hold on one second. I'm just going to. My air just came on. I don't even need it on, or my heat. I just want to turn it off a little bit. So we teamed up with the communists in World War II to, fight the enemy.
Okay, that's what Anomaly is on right now. Let's take a look at Quartercast.
Green culture, I should say, became more prevalent.
Hannah Claire Bremelo filling in for Jeremy, and we got an all-female cast. You see, Hannah Claire Bremelo. I disagree with her on quite a bit of things, but I still respect her. And she doesn't carry, she could. I mean, she's very attractive. If Hannah Claire Bremelo wanted to walk around in a mini skirt that showed everything or whatever, she could do that. She doesn't do that.
It seems like that eliminated having your sort of local celebrities. It's not that we don't have them, but it goes from being your scope just being the small town to being, all eyes on the highest levels of society for any kind of influence.
Right.
I personally feel like, I did a video on this a couple weeks ago on my YouTube channel, but there's always speculation that Melania Trump and Donald Trump are like on the brink of divorce, or she hates him, or this year, right before the inauguration, it was like, she's going to reveal where she's living. And she did this interview. She's like, I'm going to live at the White House. Like, it was almost as if she was like, why are you asking me this? I'm going to live at the White House. And when I need to be in New York, I'll be there. And when I need to be at Mar-a-Lago, I'll be there. But, I'm going to live with my husband. And, no matter every time she doesn't divorce Donald Trump, it's like the media is shocked about this because they want her to fit into a narrative they have already preset. I assume Barron and other famous children, but Barron in this case, experienced the same kind of pressure.
Oh, for sure. And like, whether it's a good thing that we do that to them or not, from a biology perspective, as a social pack species, you are going to look to the alpha pairing just in general for everything at all times. So that is why it matters so much to us whether the Obamas are on the brink, whether the Trump family is on the brink. That social situation, it really, really matters to us. That is just programmed into our monkey brain, and there's really nothing we can do about it. It just is.
I know
think it's more than just
True.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
It's more than just the gossip, though. I think that who we hold up as like the ideal family in our society says a lot about who we are as Americans. And I
don't know if this is why they're bringing up the story, but the recent news with Barron Trump is that he's at NYU, I believe. Yeah, he's at New York University. So the president of New York University's College Republicans, Kaya Walker, has resigned following controversial remarks about Barron Trump. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Walker described Barron as sort of an oddity on campus. That's not a big, so what? And mentioned that he goes to class, he goes home. Okay, so what? I mean, so what from, that's not really a vitriolic statement. What is that about? She also recounted a professor joking that Barron doesn't really belong here. These comments were deemed inappropriate by the National College Republicans of America, leading to Walker's resignation February 18th. So I guess if you're going to be the head, so what was she? She was the president of the NYU Republicans. So I guess I'm just trying to think, would I want the president of the Republicans to resign for saying that? I don't know. Barron Trump, now 18 years old, enrolled at NYU's Stern School of Business in the fall of 2024. He maintains a low profile, Well, that's probably a poor choice of words. The guy's like 7 feet tall or 6'9" or something. Rarely seen outside of classes. Well, he's one of the biggest celebrities out there. His presence is, and he's tied to the president. I mean, what do we expect? I was actually at university the same time as Tom Brady for 1 year, and nobody saw Tom Brady on campus. I saw Tom Brady once on campus. His presence has drawn attention with some students attempting to interact with him. And nobody knew he was going to be a star at that time. He was just a star on campus. Nobody knew. He was a low draft pick. His presence was drawn attention with some students attempting to interact with him. One student recalled asking Barron Trump, can you play some basketball with us? But noted that Barron suggested he wasn't really allowed to do stuff. Yeah, because you go on the basketball court, some random person snuff you out or whatever. Barron is often accompanied by Secret Service officers, which contributes to his limited social interactions on campus. That's a tough one, man. How are you going to have a college experience? How are you going to holler at these hoes? How are you going to holler at Natalie Winters in her miniskirt if you got Secret Service around you all the time? In response to the controversy, CRA President Will Donahue has extended an invitation for Barron to join the college Republicans, stating that Barron Trump represents the future of the conservative movement. He very well could. There's a lot of intrigue and mystery about him. He's like an enigma of sorts, Barron Trump, and that creates kind of like a demand or interest that some people might have. Let me go back to this clip here.
Guys, go for the day.
Or it's actually live.
I think that we should be looking at this administration with cautious optimism. It seems like a lot of things are turning around, and that's really great. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and make an idol out of anybody. We always want to be cautious. But for the first...
So that's what's going on with Quartercast. Very good stuff by Jeremy. He's got a good team. He can take some time off, and he's got Hannah Claire Bremelo, and then I don't know who those other two are, and Luke goes on there too. Let's see what's up with Rip. I haven't seen Rip in a minute with Rip and the Silverback. I miss For Cannon's Sake. Does he still do it on Mondays still or not? I think he stopped doing it. Oh man, Eric was so good with For Cannon's Sake, man. Oh, that was just such great content.
And 6. So if you have an issue with like the action horror element of it, but like 4, not to say that you can't dislike 5 and 6. I just think it's a logical reason to dislike 5 and 6 because of that. If you do enjoy 4, right? So that was really more what the argument was, like what the genre was, or something like that. It was that's all that it was. But yeah, we were screaming at each other for probably an hour and a half about that one subject because neither of us were buddies.
So fucking lucky I wasn't on that show. That would have been a double team. You would have been getting it fucking.
I would have. Yep, I've been on.
You would have been getting it like an OnlyFans content creator, dude.
Fuck.
Fucking both ends, mate.
Fuck.
Fucking airtight. All right, no, fucking God bless Jeremy, man. Fuck's sake, God bless the guy. You know, this is what I do find funny though, is because we get called things like grifters all the time. You're just grifters. You're just doing this because you can make a buck off it. 2 things can be right off at the same time, by the way. And then it's just like, oh, why do you even care? Or they'll go to, oh, look at that 50-year-old man with his toys, and you're just like, which is your argument?
Pick one, bro.
Yeah, are we grifters or do we care too much? Or
here's my take on the toys and stuff: is I fully support it. As long as you're handling your business as a man, your responsibilities. What's the difference between collecting? If I had enough money, I would get that Yaira statue he's got. I think it's like hundreds of dollars. I can't get that now, but just to have up, and I want to put some stuff up behind me eventually. I said this gray ass wall behind me, this false wall behind me, but what's the difference between golfing and that? So what, is golfing better than the toys? I don't know. I don't think so.
Have I out-aged actually being able to?
I'm a little bit behind. Let me speed it back up.
care about that. The consistency, none of those things are any sort of value. They'll cling to whatever it is that they want, and it is intriguing, especially when that stuff enters into our sphere. Because someone brought up a great little super chat last night about that. It's like, what's going on in my echo chamber, right? Like to kind of to kind of, because that's what people accuse us of, right? Anyway, right? And that we're in this echo chamber where we all agree on everything, and we wouldn't dare
coordinated. It's a coordinated grift,
Yeah, exactly. They believe that. So that's another example of that not being that. But when we do display that example, they try to figure that that's nefarious or something more nefarious is going on. But like I said, I think a lot of that stems from, especially with like the whole internet stuff. A lot of these people don't actually like each other, right? Like we know that a lot of that stuff is very transactional. It's like they put on a front for the internet, and they're not actually really fond of each other. They're clinging on to each other because it's more or less a means to an end. Well, it's not like that with us. This is the reason why we can go do events like the megacons of the world, or not too long ago.
Yeah, if you don't know that. Homie Carlos, friend of the show, was out there at the MegaCon, one of these comic book type of events there. So it looks like they're just talking about their worldy type events. Let me go. I want to talk about this Jesus Christ Superstar real quick. Let's take a look at this here via the trend wave on X. Blasphemy. You tell me if you think it is. Cynthia Erivo, how do you I don't know how to pronounce her name. Erivo's casting as Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar is setting off a firestorm. Some people are calling it groundbreaking. Others are calling it blasphemous. And here she is.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Here she is. And I have a little AI thing. We can listen to that. This is your Jesus in Jesus Christ Superstar. Let's hear the story, then I'll react to it.
Cynthia Erivo's casting as Jesus in the Hollywood Bowl's upcoming production of Jesus Christ Superstar has ignited a heated debate. While some praise the decision as groundbreaking and inclusive, others see it as deeply controversial. The production, scheduled for August 1st through August 3rd, 2025, will be directed and choreographed by Tony Award winner Sergio Trujillo, with Stephen Oramus as musical director and conductor. Erivo, a Tony and Grammy winner, expressed her excitement about the role on social media, calling it a busy summer ahead. Supporters argue that Jesus Christ Superstar has always been a bold reinterpretation of the biblical story.
That is true. So that is true. I think that's part of it that a lot of people are leaving out is historically, it's not like it's a serious depiction. I still have a problem with it. I do think it's blasphemous, but that is part of it. Historically, the play or the musical Jesus Christ Superstar has always been like a liberal interpretation of it. So this is not really that crazy when you think about it.
And casting a woman, particularly a Black queer woman, pushes artistic boundaries in an exciting way.
I didn't put bald-headed in there too. I mean, that is something important to know. I mean, she's more bald than me right now. Bald-headed, Black, queer, witch-looking with the crazy nails. That is, if you're going to depict Jesus, that is all fair game. I'm not even talking trash at this point. I can if I want to, but that's not what I will if I want to. I'm not doing that now. If you're casting someone to depict them as Jesus, the fact that she's bald head matters, obviously.
Many theater fans are thrilled to see Erivo take on the demanding role, confident that her powerhouse vocals will bring something new to the show's classic songs. Publications like Blext Media have celebrated the decision, noting that Erivo's previous experience playing Mary Magdalene in an all-female Jesus Christ Superstar concept album makes this an intriguing full-circle moment. However, the backlash has been equally loud. Many religious and conservative voices have criticized the casting as disrespectful, arguing that portraying Jesus as a woman contradicts both historical accuracy and Christian tradition. Some have labeled it as an intentional provocation rather than an artistic choice. Outlets like The Post-Millennial and That Park Place have highlighted these objections, with critics claiming the decision ignores the religious significance of Jesus' identity. Social media reactions have been divided, with some calling the move blasphemous, while others celebrate it as a sign of progress. The Hollywood Bowl's official announcement, along with reports from the Rap and Showbiz 411, confirmed the production's details, but the casting debate continues to fuel strong opinions. As opening night approaches, the controversy surrounding Cynthia Erivo's portrayal of Jesus is unlikely to fade, ensuring that this version of Jesus Christ Superstar will be one of the most talked about theatrical events of the year. This is Cassidy AI reporting for Trendwave, a part of the Middle MAGA network.
So the other part that I'll end with that is relevant to this is who's making these decisions. That matters too. And what we saw when, I looked into it and I said before I even saw it that I know that the hats are involved. I just know. We followed this a lot and I followed this stuff a lot and I've already know. I mean, this is Hollywood. This is, media. This is anti-Christ. It has the hat labeling all over it. And we know that is the case. The people that are involved, one of the executive producers is a hat. The other one is a gay Catholic, they said. And he said, this is his words, not mine. He said he's a gay Catholic with a hat last name. And then the casting director, which is literally the person that, at least based on the credits, would be in charge or involved with choosing the depiction of Jesus, is a hat. Or they said they went to a hat camp when they were younger. So that is relevant. And I posted that up there and nobody retorts to that because obviously if you're going to do some type of depiction of Jesus, if you're a hat, that matters. And I'm just going to leave it like that. I think we should have open discussion on that. Let's go see how Comic Dave Smith is doing. I haven't done a reaction to Comic Dave Smith in a minute. Well, I've done a little bit, but not like on Part of the Problem, though. So this is people need to be prosecuted. He's going back to the pandemic where he was great at it. I'll listen and see. I'm probably going to agree with him too much on that one. That's why I don't usually react to Dave Smith. What am I going to react to other than saying, yes, Queen? Let's listen to it.
Always covering what's going on lately. It does, like, it's a weird thing. Like when you get lost in the day-to-day news, it's like there's this new event, but then they all start forming into patterns and they could almost be categorized in like, okay, throw it into this column. And this column is, for me personally, one of the most infuriating. It's the column of people coming out way too late and telling the truth about COVID.
I like it. I mean, Dave Smith is just he's so good with the pandemic stuff. And what he's saying is there's people coming out kind of, and we'll see where he goes with it, but I'm seeing the same thing, where he's probably going to talk about the recent Deborah Burke's comments. But I'm seeing a lot of people coming out and kind of trying to be on the right side, but we never saw them admit they were wrong in the first point, or at least tell us how you got to this side. It's just all of a sudden, oh, there's these problems, we need to look into it. But I don't understand your transformation. I think that's what he's talking about. This Dave Smith, part of the problem. Go support him. Robbie the Fire, Bernstein, his partner there on the right. They are great. I got to figure out what's going on with the Mises Caucus, though. Has he talked about it? I got to figure that out.
When it's like, I don't know, it's just particularly infuriating to me, and I'm sure to you too, as somebody, Rob, who was telling the truth about COVID as it happened and kind of taking all the arrows that come with that. It's a special type of enraging when you see people who had the biggest platform and all of the credibility come out now in 2025, which by my mathematical reasoning is 5 years after we needed to hear this.
Yeah.
But
acting like nothing happened. And we do have to say we have what I consider YouTube royalty in the chat. Broken Traditions, Fred the Show. What's up? Long time no talk.
But when they come out now, and then it's almost like they just try to blend into the crowd. You know what I mean? Like it kind of feels like if you were like in a third world country and your dictator is horribly corrupt and you're outside and they're yelling like, we want to end this corruption of this brutal dictator, this regime is put, and then you look next to you and it's the dictator and he's also yelling and he's also like, yeah, down with this guy. And you're like, wait, no, you are the guy. You don't get to be on our side now. Anyway, it kind of gives me feelings like that. So that's one, it's an entire category. We've probably done, 100 different videos or different topics that have very straight. It's just at a certain point, you're like, oh, you get the head of the coronavirus response on your panel, and then they're just arguing it out with other people. Anyway, it's pretty wild that he's able to book some of the people he books. But let's go to the clip and then we can respond.
He made it very clear to.
This is Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, I don't know how he does it either. He has the best booking in the business right now. He has everybody.
Every mom out there that his children were immunized about childhood vaccines.
Yeah.
And what we've done wrong in public health is we didn't explain that COVID vaccines were nothing like the childhood vaccines, and that the childhood vaccines, like many of the diseases, you get it once, you don't get it again. And this is getting the children to have that disease without getting the deadly consequences. Jeez. That is not what the COVID vaccine was designed to do.
Oh.
It wasn't designed to prevent against infection. And if you look at the vaccine hesitancy rates, they've doubled since COVID. So we have to start addressing these things. We can't just ignore them.
And Deborah, let me ask you, Deborah, I mean, given that you were the face of COVID from the Trump presidency at the time, do you share, this doctor who I was with, do you share the concerns about the longer term negative impact of some of the COVID vaccines?
The messenger RNA vaccine should have been rolled out for the people that were at risk for severe disease, because that's what the vaccine was developed for. But when we say that we're following the science and the data, we need to follow the science and the data. And the science and the data said people primarily over 65 or people with significant comorbidities were at risk for severe disease. Those are the individuals that should have been immunized first. And we should have put our science behind our immunization schedule and protected those most at risk. It went into young people in hospitals before it went into our elderly in nursing homes. That is not following the science and the data. So I am all for following the science and the data, but it shouldn't just be a statement, it should be a reality. And when we don't match what we do in public health to the science and the data, that is when we get into trouble. And that's when we start to fracture trust with the American people.
I mean,
unbelievable to hear. Is this the first time we've heard her say stuff like this? And I don't understand when she talked about the process of what this, she said, it's not like the jabs that children get. And the mistake was we didn't communicate that. But that's the only jab we were ever aware of. Before this, we were never aware of a jab where it was just a therapeutic and it wasn't going to basically remove the possibility or greatly to 99 or whatever % remove the possibility of getting the thing.
It's just amazing to watch, dude. It's amazing. It is the dictator getting out of his palace and joining the protesters and just be like, yeah, I know this is okay. I remember being on this little show called the Joe Rogan Experience where me and Joe literally said that, well, I mean, really, he said it, which is what caused the storm, not me so much. But we were just talking about how, like, yeah, we don't really think that young, healthy kids need to take this vaccine. And I said, like, there's no way I'd give my kids this vaccine. And then Joe was like, yeah, like, if you're young and healthy, I would just recommend you be really healthy.
I remember telling my wife there is no chance. And she agreed, but there was no chance I'm going to give our kids that Jabberwocky.
Exercise. And literally, the president of the United States of America ripped into us for having this conversation, said we were spreading dangerous misinformation. Fauci said it was dangerous misinformation. And now, quietly, years later, 4 years later, the chick who was the face of the COVID response goes, oh yeah, no, that's what following the science looks like. It's like, hey, well, where were you at the time? Like, we could have used your backup. It would have really been nice to be able to point to the head of
This is problematic, man. These people like Burke should be. I fully agree. I don't know what the charges are. I would have to look into it, but just the feeling is that they should be in prison. And if you don't put people like this in prison, then this is what happens. Like we saw the story that Andrew Cuomo. It looks like Andrew Cuomo is about to get back in the seat here. Let me go to that real quick. I'm going to go to that Andrew Cuomo. I heard something about Andrew Cuomo trying to get pushed into that mayor spot. Here we go. Let's go to CBS News.
And in the middle of all of this, Mayor Adams is looking at a re-election campaign, and political reporter Marcia Kramer has learned former Governor Andrew Cuomo is seriously considering a challenge here. And Marcia, joining us now, what have you learned?
Well, I can tell you this, that Andrew Cuomo is now making all the moves that are necessary for him to enter the race. In fact, what I've also learned is that he is calling a family confab next week. His 3 daughters are coming in from all over the country to meet with him to discuss this as a family decision about whether he should run. I'm told that he's looking at it as a family decision and as a personal decision. And let's talk about the timing here. The timing is that he...
Now, remember why I'm bringing up Cuomo transitioning from Dave Smith is Cuomo had his own controversy where you could argue he could have been investigated. I think they did their own internal stuff, but could be in prison. And if you don't put them in prison, then they will come back and basically rule.
That the petitioning to gather signatures starts on February 21st. It goes to April 3rd. So the Cuomo campaign is looking at the possibility of getting into the race like in early March after he meets with his daughters and they decide to sign off on it. Now, I can tell you this, that over the last several days, he's made all the moves and made it look like he was interested in running. On Valentine's Day, he did a post where he went to meet with some Black and Hispanic women and made it look like he was definitely running. Take a listen to what he said.
Of course, they're going to the blacks again. There you go, blacks. As soon as I should be in prison, but I want to rule again. Who do I go to? I go to hug the blacks. Just used as a skin color, just used as a propellant to power, used and abused.
I was speaking to a woman this morning, and I said, how are things going? And she said, it's frightening out
Looks like he lost weight
there on those streets.
So Andrew Cuomo is sounding very much like he wants to run and making all the moves to make it happen. I'm told that it's going to be a personal decision, a family decision. The daughters have to sign.
Yeah. You drag it out like, oh, it's difficult. Come on. The controversy, as we remember from March 2020, the New York State Department of Health, under Cuomo's administration, issued a directive requiring nursing homes to accept pandemic-positive patients discharged from hospitals. So we were forcing young, healthy people to take the Jabberwocky at the same time. Well, this is really early. March 2020 was really early in it. But he put older people in nursing homes, required them through edict, emergency governor edict. It wasn't legislative. That's part of the reason if you want cover, you don't necessarily want the executive branch power in making these decisions like this emergency power. But power hungry took it. And I guess he's right because he's not there anymore. And now he's going to be a strong candidate for mayor. It's going to be up to them for their voting process and whatever, if they trust it or not. But that's what happened. Nursing home operators and families objected at the time. They were like, wait, we don't know what's happening, but it looks like you're putting vulnerable residents at great risk by putting people who were pandemic positive. We think older people might be more susceptible to this thing. The homes were barred from testing these patients to see if they were still infected. Over 9,000 recovering pandemic patients were transferred from hospitals to nursing homes under his directive. So the administration initially underreported. So after that, that's bad enough. So following that, Cuomo, while he was governor, initially underreported the number of nursing home people who passed away. He excluded at least 4,100 people who got unlived that occurred outside of the facilities. Cuomo and his aides allegedly shaped the findings of subsequent health department reports to shift blame for these people who passed away. The administration refused to comply with state lawmakers' demands for nursing home statistics during the summer of 2020. So they did I'm not going to relive the whole thing. They did investigations and everything, but that's unsavory. You don't get somebody like that out, then they come back.
And off on it, they're coming in next week.
Cuomo is no stranger to scandal, having stepped down as governor. What do you believe are his chances here?
Well, if you look at the early polls, he is the odds-on favorite to win at this point. There's been about 3 polls in the last several weeks, and even with ranked choice voting, he comes in ahead. And in those polls...
Ranked choice voting? Are they doing ranked choice voting? I am very strongly against ranked choice voting. Ranked choice voting is a way to ensure, there's kind of different ways people do it, but like Alaska, the way that they did it, I have a video way back where I kind of broke that down. But the way that they do the ranked choice voting, it's designed to prop up the big name. So it doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat, I will agree with that, but it's the corporate, whoever has the most money, there are different ways to implement it, but the way that they normally are implementing it is it's so Andrew Cuomo would win against some upstart who has a lot of a cult following or something like that.
Polls, he had like 25% of the vote going into the first round and 50+ points after the last round. Mayor Adams came in 8th. So he does have a good chance. But, once a campaign starts, it gets, there's puncher, it gets ugly. But, people are looking at him as the odds-on favorite to be able to do something and get this.
I would be surprised if Eric Adams runs again, though, because he's already kind of cozied up to Republicans and Trump, which is fine if he wants to do that. But he can't be mayor of New York, so he must be looking at a congressional run or something else. He's very pro tiny hat country, Ben Shapiro country, so he'll fit right in with Fetterman and the Republicans.
City back in shape.
I know you'll be all over this with exclusive information throughout. Marsha Kramer, thank you.
So I looked up the ranked choice. I did not know this. New York City is currently using ranked choice voting for certain elections. New York City adopted ranked choice voting in 2019 and first implemented it on a large scale in 2021. It's used in primary elections, special elections for mayor, public advocate, comptroller, borough president, city council. How it works, voters can rank up to 5 candidates in order of preference. If no candidate receives over 50%, this is the typical way it works, of first choice votes, the candidate with the fewest is eliminated. Votes for the eliminated candidate are redistributed. They kind of take it, okay, you lost, we'll take your votes to the second one that you put on the list. So they redistribute them to the other choices. This process continues until a candidate achieves a majority. So, wow, that's terrible. That's a legal way where they don't have to, if you imagine if we had that for our country. Oh man, like for the general election for president or whatever, that'd be a disaster. I do not support ranked choice voting. There's some people that I would agree with on a lot of things who kind of challenged me on that. I tried to unpack it and figure out where I'm wrong on it. I haven't seen it. The people, and I have to, maybe Jim Perlman, and I think they are actually for it. And for where they are politically, this would be a disaster. It'd be worse. I don't know if they're doing the math or if I'm missing something. I always leave room to be wrong. But let's look at this. This is part of the story, too, is Kathy Hochul wants to move Eric Adams out of there. But the thing is, Eric Adams is a black. So let's take a look and see what's going on
Begin
there.
tonight with a quickly developing story. Governor Hochul is meeting with high-profile leaders to decide whether Mayor Adams should keep his job.
The meetings have been taking place all day today at the governor's office here in Manhattan, and they come after Monday's surprising development when 4 deputy mayors resigned all at once. Political reporter Marsha Kramer is here now with details about what's going on behind closed doors today. Marsha.
Well, Christine and Jess, Kathy Hochul is facing a very difficult decision, whether to invoke powers that have never been used in the 235 years of New York State history.
So she can force Eric Adams out. The problem is, and I'm hoping Al Sharpton gets brought up in here, is where I want to go. You might see where I'm going. The white woman wants to oust the black man, Eric Adams. So Democrats, they kind of don't like those optics. They don't have any problem doing it. They just don't like the optics. So who do you call when you need to have a black do something for you as far as the Democrats go? Al Sharpton's still on speed dial.
History and remove a mayor chosen by voters. It gets even more complicated because she herself is up for re-election next year, and she would be removing the second black mayor of New York City.
My feeling is that the faith of the city people have been shaken.
And there he is. I don't know how much more obvious you can be or see that they use the skin color as a weapon, a shield and as a weapon. And here it is being used as both, shielding Kathy Hochul, where she'll be able to say, wait, look, your king blackmaker, Al Sharpton, he was the one that wanted him out. I'm just helping Al.
And there needs to be
I don't like that. If you want to do it, just have the courage to do it. Just be up and be like, nah, you're gone. I don't care about these optics.
Resolve.
The Reverend Al Sharpton, after meeting with Governor Hochul for about half an hour to discuss the crisis in city government caused by questions of whether Mayor Adams sold his soul to the White House to get his corruption indictment dropped. Controller Brad Lander, also one of a number of elected officials, clergy and community leaders the governor huddled with, called it
the sword of Damocles hanging over the head of the entire administration.
Even though calls for Adams to resign have been escalating, sources tell CBS News New York that the governor had been trying to focus on stabilizing the city and avoiding invoking her power to remove the mayor from office. The resignation of 4 top deputy mayors, including First Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer, changed that. After Queensborough President Donovan Richards met with her virtually, he issued a statement saying, quote, "We need steady-handed leadership at City Hall that can not only weather these crises, but address them head-on and continue to move New York City forward. New Yorkers deserve that from a laser-focused government they can trust. And I encourage Mayor Adams to give deep, honest thought as to whether his administration is capable of delivering such a government."
Mayor Adams has a responsibility to decisively demonstrate to the people of New York City that he has the capacity to continue to govern in the best interest of New Yorkers, as opposed to taking orders from the Trump administration.
After a Brooklyn press conference, House Minority Leader...
Basically, they're saying, you're not black anymore anyway, because you're kind of cozying up to Trump. But that only works in the Democrat stronghold that is New York.
Hakeem Jeffries said that he and other members of the New York congressional delegation would also be speaking with the governor. This as Team Adams furiously sought to dispel the notion that he agreed to a quid pro quo with the White House. The mayor's attorney, Alex Spiro, sent a letter to Judge Dale Ho, who will have to decide whether to dismiss the charges, insisting, quote, "There was no quid pro quo, period." Now, the mayor and his lawyers and Justice Department officials are due in court tomorrow afternoon for a hearing on the dismissal of the case. Reverend Sharpton said the governor is waiting to see what happens in court before making a decision.
Very interesting. I do think there was a quid pro quo, but that's nothing illegal, though.
Let's
go with the Club Random so I can do, for my After Show Carnage channel, I got to kind of keep it to certain names like Bill Maher. Anna Kasparian is a good one. These are the names that help you in the algorithm and then keep everything general. So let me do a Bill Maher one.
Is brought to you by the audio marketing guru. No matter what life, talk about other things, like how many guys you killed. A lot of people say Vegas was better when the mob ran.
100%. 100%.
You know that? You were there?
Absolutely.
Godfather.
Finally.
I swear to God, I didn't know it was a hit.
This is years in the making.
Why?
Because I've always wanted to meet you.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you what happened.
I always wanted to avoid you.
Good idea. No, I'm only kidding. About 25 years ago, you were in a movie theater. We were in a movie theater together in Westwood.
Okay.
And I was going to come up to you then, and something happened. I don't know that I didn't, and then you were gone. I just want to say hello.
Oh, well, yeah, I never hang around the movie theater when the movie's over. I'm always gone.
You were gone quick.
Well, what were you going to say 25 years ago?
Hello, how are you? I enjoy you.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was going to be nice and cordial.
Well, thank you for making the time, and congratulations on being such a success in this field.
Appreciate that.
It's interesting, podcasting, isn't it, that like the biggest subject, maybe the two biggest, are what we're into, comedy and crime.
Absolutely. It is crazy.
And some people would say they're often the same. I'm not one of those people. But
this is Bill Maher with Michael Franzese. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Notorious gangster? Is that what? Just an Italian mobster? Kind of interesting. I wonder if Jay Leno's going to come up. Let me search the transcript real quick. Actually, I'm curious because I'm not making any allegations. People were making rumors though that Jay Leno. Remember when he got his face all messed up? That no, Jay Leno does not look like it came up in here. I mean, not that he was involved, but if he had any take on that, the rumors were that the mob or something got to Jay Leno.
Yeah, and who knows more about crime than you?
I guess that depending upon what side of the fence you are, you could say that's either good or a bad thing. I've certainly had a lot of experience with it.
I think it's a bad thing. I'm with the law, generally. Although, of course, as we all know, very often the people on the side of the law are the biggest criminals.
I wrote a book, Mafia Democracy. I have a copy for you right here.
Oh, good.
And you're going to read this book. Now, I want to tell you something.
Mafia Democracy.
Now, I wrote this a year and a half ago. It wasn't current, but I mean, not today. But Bill, when you read that book, you're going to see that this is exactly how our government is operating, just like the mob.
In some ways, yeah. I mean, come on, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I can tell you many ways the government doesn't act just like the mob.
Well, the mobster would know if the government's acting like a mob. I mean, not that he's going to be necessarily right, but you're going to have a strong, I'm going to slow this down a little bit because I want to hear what are you going to say? I'm going to do 1.25.
But you're not without a point. As far as, I mean, what is the mob basically based on? It's based on the old idea of the Roman Empire's protection racket. The Roman Empire was a protection racket. I mean, they would, would you like to live?
Well, that's what the U.S. is too.
Going to cost you. Would you like to keep your grocery store from burning down? It's going to cost you.
That's why we have military bases all over the world. The U.S. does the same thing.
It's the protection racket. There is some of that in government. I mean, what would you tell me? You wrote the book. What are some examples of that?
To me, it's just all about power and control, Bill.
Oh, that's vague. You're going to have to do better.
Well, power and control, meaning that these people get into office, they get intoxicated with the power, they never want to leave, as evidenced by, most of our Congress people, and they enrich themselves.
Yeah, but give me a specific example of how the government acts.
Damn, Bill's coming in kind of hard. I don't know how closely he follows politics. It's not easy. Even I follow it really closely, and I got to think about an example. It's
like the mafia.
Well, there again, I mean, it's all about
the first example I would go is to the criminal cases against Trump, but I'm so tired of talking about it. I wouldn't even want to bring that up. What would I bring up? I would bring up Elon and his control of X, but that's not a politician. He's looking at he's just looking in general for examples of politicians' power and control. What about the guy who got caught with the gold bars in his crib? I don't know.
All about. We wanted to make money and we wanted to stay in control of people. And the government operates the same way, in my opinion.
Give me an
I mean,
example.
listen, I don't throw one blanket over everybody in government. There are honest people there. I'm not saying that. But I think the mechanism has now become really all about power and control.
Bill, have a drink or something, man. Calm down, bro. We just sat down. You coming in hot.
Why do I?
But surely there must be like examples. If you wrote a whole book, it was like, you know what? At the Department of Labor, they did.
We know. Do you really think you wrote the book, Bill? We know that.
This.
You didn't.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I won't be specific like that.
No.
But listen.
And I can only go with you so far.
Okay.
You got to be specific.
Let me ask you this.
Bill, we're like 3 minutes in. Like, does he want to hit? Bill, calm down, bro. Ease into it. Say hello. How you doing? I don't know, man. This reminds me a little bit of how Tim came in too hot with the Kanye the Ye interview. I was like, calm down. Why are you getting to this? It's 2 minutes in and we're already talking about the hats. That's too early, man.
The accusation like that.
All right, let me ask you this. Politicians, many of them come into the money, they come into power, they're middle-class people, don't have a lot of money, and they go out millionaires, multimillionaires, many of them. How do you explain that?
Oh no, there is graft. And
Yeah.
I mean, that characterizes, well, finally we have a guy in office who that does characterize.
Who's that?
Donald Trump. You may have heard of him. He won the election
Yeah,
again.
but he had money before he came into office. He didn't come into government to make money.
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, he didn't.
First of all, in his
So we had the Kushner thing, but I don't know where Bill's going to go with this. They drained his funds with the legal stuff. I mean, he's still worth a lot, the value of truth and stuff. But I don't think Trump's a good example.
his first term, we thought, oh, this is as bad as it can get with the graft, because he did things that no president ever done, like kept all his assets. People were staying, foreign dignitaries and leaders were staying at his hotels.
Okay.
Is there anything unconstitutional about that? I don't think so. I don't really see the problem there. That's not a good example. That's not as good of an example as just pulling up Nancy Pelosi and a lot of the names that we've talked about, the one-eyed pirate, and others.
That's outrageous. And then he upped that. He put out a meme coin.
Yeah.
Okay. And made 50.
I do have a problem with that. I have a whole live just from, I don't know, yesterday or 2 days ago about that. So that is a good point. I don't know why Trump did that meme coin. I don't understand that.
$58 billion the day before he took office.
All right, but he was a billionaire when he went into office.
Wait, is that true? I'll look that up.
Yeah, well, we don't even know that because he's such a liar that we have no idea what he was. He certainly acted rich, and he certainly was rich by any people's standards. He had his own plane, but we don't know. I mean, he wouldn't release his taxes. He was rich, and he likes getting richer, and he has no qualms about enriching himself in this office. I'm just saying this is new, but it's not new in many of.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I was wrong. I'll look up the details of that, but I'm not going to defend somebody who's launching meme coins. I'm just not going to do it. Trump or anybody else.
The countries in the world. They say Putin is probably worth $40 billion. We only get that from literally robbing the treasury, when the treasury and your personal bank account are basically the same thing. And potentates have done this all over the world, Asia, Africa, the Americas. We certainly have not been that country in general. There has been graft, never on that scale. He is because those are the kind of people he likes, or autocrats like that. But I don't think, for example,
let's look at the meme coin results. This is just a quick Perplexity search. It says that Trump, the exact amount of money, as I thought, we don't know. So I don't know where he got that money from, but the Trump meme coin generated between 86 million and 100 million in trading fees. That's just the trading fees, not including the family inside. If there were any, I don't think we got that information. Any of the insider kind of trading that's legal with the meme coins. Just the fees was 86 to 100 million just on the Trump, not Melania. CIC Digital, a company owned by Trump, is set to receive trading revenue from the coin's activities. So it looks higher than, did he say million or billion? It looks higher if he said million, but I don't know how much is profit or what the deal is there. 80% of the coin supply is held by the company Trump owned, CIC Digital, and Fight LLC, subject to a 3-year unlocking schedule. So I didn't talk about that in the meme live. The 3-year unlocking is really pertinent, so there's not like a cut and run, to my knowledge, with it. That's different than some of these other meme coins. Adds a little bit credibility to it. So there's a 3-year unlocking schedule. I'm going to take a look into here. What is the unlocking schedule here? And then after this, I'm going to do one more clip and then I'll be out. But one more clip from this video here. I'm interested in this. The unlocking schedule for Trump and Melania is as follows. Total supply 1 billion tokens. Currently circulating 20%, so about 200 million tokens. 80% are locked. The locked tokens are divided into several groups with different unlocking schedules. Creators in CIC Digital, that's the company that Trump owns, 3-month cliff, 10% unlocked at initial cliff, 24-month linear vesting. So you vest as time goes on, which does give it some credibility. So there's different levels of it. Okay. There are some details on the unlocking schedule there. That's good. Potential value. Well, let's keep on going here. Melania has a different coin, reached a market cap of 1.2 billion, but that's not. It's unclear how much, if any, of this value directly benefited Melania or Trump. It's not known if any of the trading fees accrued to Trump personally. Trump pledged to put his assets in a trust managed by his children when he entered the White House, which is nothing really. The value of these meme coins is highly volatile and speculative. For example, Trump's value dropped about 45% shortly after his peak. But that happens with IPOs too. But they are regulated, so it's a little different. The coin's website, because if you're doing insider trading with the IPOs, then you could get got. The coin's website state that they're not intended as investment opportunities, but rather expressions of support. So basically, they're saying it's almost like a super chat. Give us super chats, and yeah, it might have a value or not, but just think of it as a super chat. So let's get back to the clip. I think that's fair. I have to acquiesce to Bill Maher. Yeah, that's recent. It's a lot more money. It's a lot of money. It's overt. I can't explain it. I have to backtrack.
He in China does that. He doesn't need to. Why would he need to? He's the leader of China. He has his own plane. He has his own palace. You can't get richer than being the president. You cannot, even if the salary was zero, because everything is provided for you.
Ali
and if you want to go somewhere, you get there faster.
Ali 004 says that why don't they? She's all for calling out DJT for exploiting his presidency when he does, but why don't they ever cast that eye on any Democrat politicians? I agree. He ran straight to Trump. And I ran straight to a Democrat too, so that's part of me. But yeah, I acquiesced and said, "Yeah, you have a point." I agree with you, Ali 004, because if you don't do that, then I don't trust, and then at some point, I don't care if Trump does it, because obviously you've got a team. I'm not going to always acquiesce to you. Tim Pool talks about that all the time. So that's where we lose trust in each other, Bill. And Bill always trying to come across as I'm fair, I'm a classic liberal, and no, you're something else
than any other person in the world.
All right. Well, let me ask you the difference. He came in as a wealthy guy. We're not counting his money, but we knew he was wealthy. What about Obama? He didn't come in wealthy.
And he didn't leave with that kind of wealth.
Well, he's worth, from what I'm hearing now, he's worth $100 million.
I doubt if he's worth $100 million. That's
what I heard.
But that's what I heard. That's from Trump.
I think that's low. Let me look that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if we don't know for sure, but I think that's low. Obama being worth $100 million. Let me look that up.
What I heard. People are saying, well, it must be true.
Come on, look at his life. Come on, look at his lifestyle.
Oh, look,
I'm not saying he's not entitled to it afterward, but I'm saying he became a very wealthy guy.
Okay, well, you tend to get famous when you're the first black president of the United States. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a big accomplishment.
Okay.
So, does he get a speaking fee? Probably gets $500,000 or even $1 million speaking fee. Yeah. Okay. So, but he didn't go in it for the money. He wasn't.
Well, we don't know that, Bill. I mean,
for fuck's sake.
We don't know that. Really? I mean, I'm not saying that wasn't the only.
Oh, come on, Bill. That's exactly what Ali 004 was talking about. Whoa. So Trump with his meme coin can get called out, but we can't even talk about Obama?
Reason he wanted to be wealthy. He wanted to be president. We get that, but I'm sure he thought about, what it was going to do for him financially too. Why not?
Okay, I just don't think that was Barack Obama's motivation. I think it's something that comes along with getting to that. If you were at that level of success in any field, yeah, you would have some financial remuneration. I mean, it's peanuts compared to what what Trump is doing, that the kind of money he is making from just basically selling the job. I mean, he was, for example.
We're not going to go there with what happened with Biden, right? Obama's vice president. We're not going to go there, are we, Bill? And just completely ignore that?
Very much against TikTok. Let's get rid of TikTok. Until the TikTok guy came in and said he would.
So the net worth is actually 70 from the sources I'm seeing here. This source is just some net worth website, so I don't know how true it is. But I think that's I believe it's higher, but who knows? I don't know. Their combined net worth is about 70 million. And when they came in, their net worth was about 1.3 million. From 1991 to 2004, he didn't earn more than $30,000 a year. His salary increased to $157,000 when he was elected to the U.S. Senate. Obama was the primary breadwinner for a time. She earned $274K as a lawyer. In 2005, Obama's combined income jumped to 1.65, largely due to the book royalties. Same stuff I've talked about with the Supreme Court justices. They try to call out Thomas, but Sonia Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, they get these book deals. Nobody cares about their books. Nobody's buying their damn books other than libraries. It's just a way to hand money over. But the same thing did happen to Trump too. The Amazon kind of documentary deal with Melania. It's all the same. Yeah, that's how they give him the money. It's these book deals. Nobody cares about their damn book. Who cares about an Obama book? I haven't read it. I actually kind of, wanted to read Michelle's at one point, but I never did. Then you have the speaking fees, which are just the same thing with the Clintons. So yeah, you just legally funnel money into it. And then to 2018, an estimated $50 million production deal with Netflix. And who knows what influence Obama or who had or Obama adjacent people had with regulations or anything that indirectly affect Netflix. I need to see like a AI producer on the show. I need to see these talked about in real time. So now we just brush over the Obama when there's clearly problems here, and Bill he doesn't even care to look into it.
Gave a big contribution to his campaign. Then he was all for TikTok. He's very transactional. He doesn't even make a secret of it. He doesn't understand how government works. He still runs it like it's a business. In some ways, that might be.
Government is a business. We've talked about that multiple times on this show. Let's fast forward to this is the most watched clip. I don't know what this is.
With Factor. From preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that you can't beat. I think the best part about Factor is being complimented by my delivery guy that I'm eating smart, healthy meals. The one problem that is caused is that the guy who cooks for me feels very threatened, and he should because these meals are so easy and so delicious that he may soon be out of a job. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/random50off and use code random50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code random50off at factormeals.com/random50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
I'm going to tell you what my theory on what happened based upon what I know. Okay, speaking to people that were pardoned, speaking to the lawyer that represented a lot of these people that were pardoned that worked on it. Number one, did you know this? Nancy Pelosi's son-in-law was in the crowd telling people to go into the Capitol where her daughter was taking pictures of people coming into the Capitol. Her daughter's a producer.
Oh, I know her daughter well. She's a director.
Okay, a director. But she was there with the camera inside the Capitol. Why? What was she doing there?
Well, it was the day we were transferring power.
But why was she there?
Because she's a filmographer. That's what she does for a living.
Okay, so she just happened to her husband was outside telling people to come in, and she happened to be there with a camera.
So that's your theory? Nancy Pelosi's daughter fomented the riot on January 6th?
No, I'm not saying that. Let me ask you this. Kash Patel just testified in front of the confirmation hearing.
Yeah, he said even this fucking right-wing QAnon nut, even he says he's against Trump pardoning the J6 rioters. He said that.
He did say
you know that?
because some of them beat up the cops. I understand that.
Right.
Okay, but did you hear what else he
Gosh,
said?
I am so tired of J6. But who said what? I missed that. Kash Patel said that?
The riot on January 6th?
No, I'm not saying that. Let me ask you this. Kash Patel just testified in front of the confirmation hearing.
Yeah, he said even this fucking right-wing QAnon nut, even he says he's against Trump pardoning the J6 rioters. He said that.
He did say
you know that?
because some of them beat up the cops. I understand that.
Right.
Okay, but did you hear what else he said?
God, this is such a terrible take. I know they have to kind of adjust their takes, and some people tell me, oh, they're just lying to say what they have to do, but I just have no energy for that, man. But I'm glad that they got pardoned, but I didn't know Kash Patel had said that.
Days before this protest, Trump went to he was in the Department of Defense at that point, and he went to Kash Patel and he said, we're going to need the National Guard there that day. We want to make sure the area is secure.
I don't know about the Nancy Pelosi son. I'll look that up. I hadn't heard. I knew about her daughter. We covered that, but I didn't know about the son. I'll have to look that up.
They prepared and got the National Guard ready to be there. Kash Patel himself called Nancy Pelosi, called Chuck Schumer, and called the mayor of Washington, D.C., and they all refused the National Guard. Why?
Yeah. No, that could be true.
If the president wants them there, because he knew maybe this will get a little out of hand, why did they refuse it? I'm going to tell you what my theory is, and you can say you're crazy.
I have to look at those facts again, but I have heard that before from reputable sources
testified.
that,
Kash Patel testified to that.
Testified doesn't
Well, in the
necessarily mean
confirmation
it's true.
hearings.
Yes, I know. Well, this is a kangaroo court. Now it's a Republican Congress.
Democrats are questioning him too.
Yeah, they're questioning him, but they're not going to get to vote him out. He's going to be the head of the
but
FBI.
we're not talking about that. Whatever the vote is, the vote is. But this is his testimony.
Yeah,
he just
I'm
said
just saying I don't take it as the word of God. His testimony.
But if Donald Trump requested the National Guard,
yes,
and
but
those
that part I would
refused-
that part I would definitely look into more. I mean, I have heard that from not just right wing sources, and there was something, but plainly, when it started to go sideways, he did not seem very invested in figuring out a way to stop it. He could have, done 100 things, but he just seemed to want to watch it on TV. But look, Michael, that's not even the thing that I blame him the most for, because it's a little squishy, some of the facts. Look, he's Donald Trump. Do I think he played it wrong? Of course, he's Donald Trump. But what I blame him for is just to this day, but including, and most importantly, from the election in 2016, rather 2020, until January 20th, when...
Are we still talking about January 6th? Man. It almost makes me want to go hard at it. If we're not going to drop, they're the ones that want to talk about it. The ones that were wronged are the ones that should be energized, and their side is the one that's always talking about Young Turks or whoever else. Wow. And of course, Charlie Kirk of TPUSA invites Cenk Uygur on the stage, who is even harder against J6ers than Bill Maher probably. It makes me think, here's the problem. You get wronged with J6 and the pardons happen. We're going to have to see some retaliation, retribution, not violent, peaceful, through the system, because they're not shutting up about it. And the ones who are wronged are the ones that should be. The guy that was on Tim's show, I listened to a little bit of Timcast IRL yesterday. The guy who I believe he works with the Daily Wire now, he was there. He said he had to drop $180K on legal defense. So that's stealing somebody's life, retirement, hard work, labor. That's a serious thing to make the process, they were talking about this, the process of the adjudication, the crime. And they're the ones indignant about it. This is what happens. We deserve it. If we're not going to go ahead and we got to crush legally, politically, and maybe Trump will. I'm not saying he's not. He might gradually be going to that. But it's got to happen. I mean, this is insane.
Biden took office, still never conceded. So of course,
So
if you
what? Man, I'm tired of talking about this topic, and now I'm getting heated watching him. Bill Maher saying, well, Trump should have conceded. He doesn't have to concede anything.
concede, the people out there who are your rabid followers are going to do something.
So what? He didn't tell anybody to do anything, and he doesn't have to concede.
Like January 6th. They were going to do something. His crime to me is a slow-moving crime of, nope, I never conceded. All I tried.
What is the crime? That's where they go to these weird conspiracy means absolutely nothing. Incitement to violence, just like Elon called Ye, years ago, where he posted it. Oh, he incited violence by posting a symbol that has no meaning.
There's no doubt about it. She uses her office for her own piggy bank.
Well,
She hates Donald Trump.
Again, I honestly don't think she's in it for the money. She definitely had
I need it
money.
now. She's got $500 million or something like that.
$500 million? You sure about that?
Well, no, I'm not sure, but these are the numbers. No, okay. Let me tell you what I am sure of. I'll tell you what I am sure of.
I'm not sure, but I just say it.
She's worth $300 million. I'm sure of that.
How do you're not sure of that? You're just
No, I
saying
am sure of that. She's admitted to it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she's worth $300 million. Her and her husband.
No, I read that there was something shady about but she's not the only congressperson was.
I said that before.
They even introduced, okay, look, when it's right,
Republicans
Michael,
and Democrats.
I'm an honest broker.
That does match what I'm seeing about 240 to 300 million online. Who knows?
I know you are.
They're talking about Nancy Pelosi, of course.
That's what it is. So
I know you are, but I think you're misguided.
I will never
I'm
ever.
Uh,
gonna by the way,
Yeah.
you don't drink wine, huh?
No, I really don't.
You know, I
like to go straight to
You
getting
see the name
fucked
on
up.
the bottle?
I will
Oh,
stop.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Is that for me?
Ked's dead. Thank you for and I haven't talked about this, but it looks like Pope Francis is in serious medical condition here, and prayers up to Pope Francis. Thanks, Ked's dead, for the $2 super chat there too. I thought it was son-in-law. Oh, is it her son-in-law? Let me see if I got information. I just did a deep research on who was there on J6. Nancy Pelosi's family at the Capitol on January 6th, rumor versus reality. Who was actually there? Nancy Pelosi's immediate family, this is according to Newsweek, did not play a role in organizing. Nobody said that. They said there's no credible report that indicates her son, Paul Pelosi Jr., was at the Capitol. Okay, Pelosi's son-in-law, thank you, Ali 004. It looks like the son-in-law is Michiel, is it Michael Voss? I don't know how to pronounce it. Dutch-American journalist, married to Pelosi's daughter. He was there present as a reporter. So thank you. It was the son-in-law is who was there. And I don't think he said it wrong. It's me misinterpreting. I didn't hear what he said. Not as a participant in the riot, they say. He was at the Capitol covering events. Yeah, there's a lot of people that were covering events. Friend of show, Ignoramus, covering events and got hemmed up himself. So what's your point here, Newsweek? Let's see here. Multiple fact checkers, great. Snopes, okay. said he was doing his job as a reporter. Makes me think that he was doing a lot more than that. And to be clear, I'm not saying he necessarily should have been charged or anything, but this is interesting because I don't know enough right now. Michael himself acknowledged the chaotic scene. He gave interviews. I've never experienced anything like this. I never knew this. So they're going to try to cause all the stuff that we're talking about here. Misinformation is what it's looking. But I'm just using corporate sources.
That's for you.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you so much. Well,
It's Francis wine. The wine is from Armenia.
But I understand you're in the olive oil business?
No, not the olive. Pizza and wine.
He's doing pizza and wine now. Okay. Well, that's it. I just wanted to do a couple of reacts and stuff here. Appreciate everybody for joining. Hopefully nobody's trying to contact me. Look pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to be out. I'll be in touch with more uploads, more discussions. Let me get some music. I want to just end on some music and then be out. Oh my God.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.